Lucy, Stanley Cup craze. Are you involved in this?
I'm not. This is hilarious. So no, I don't have. Well, let me take that back. I do have one, only because someone gave it to me because someone gave it to them and they didn't need it anymore. So I am in it for free.
Nice. Hey, that's the best way to be in it, right?
Yes.
Well, very cool. All right. So what are we making today in our Studio 10 kitchen?
Okay. Today we are making a kind of like an Asian bowl. But we're going to do it on the sheet pan. So I'm cutting up one pork tenderloin right now, and usually they come in a 2-pack, and I'm just using one today. So it's about 1 pound, and I just like it because there's absolutely no waste in it. There's there's very little fat, and the fat's going to cook away, so we don't have to worry about paying for something that we're not going to be able to use. So that's why I love to use pork tenderloin. And it's so tender and it's going to cook up quick. So I have that one pork tenderloin on there, and you could do 2 if you wanted to. I just kind of wanted a heavy emphasis on the vegetables.
What if you want to do 3?
You could do 3 for sure. You can do however many you want. And then I have 1 head of broccoli, and I cut it into florets and keep them kind of big, because if you cut them too small, then they're just going to shrivel up. And this is going to cook, so don't worry about them being a little big. And then I have a red, yellow, and orange bell pepper. So we have all that on our sheet pan, and I have the oven on at 400. And we're just going to do a quick, simple, kind of a sauce to go on there. I'm going to do half a cup of olive oil, and then I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, just like 3/4 of a teaspoon of the sesame oil, and I'm going to do some garlic powder, salt, and pepper. So just really, really simple stuff you probably have in the pantry. And the sesame oil is optional. I mean, if you don't have any, don't feel like you need to go out and buy it. But if you do have some, you can toss it in there.
If you wanted to do something Mardi Gras colors, you could just go with yellow bell pepper and purple onion.
That's a good idea. Oh, man.
I just thought
You're on it. You're on it
today.
I don't even have my Mardi Gras earrings on. I even wore them last week. I didn't even wear them today.
But nevertheless, Greer's is definitely in the Mardi Gras spirit. So much going on at your stores.
Yes, we do. All of the stores have king cakes, and so many people over the last couple years have spent a lot of time down at our St. Louis market during Mardi Gras. If you haven't been before, then it's a great chance to go during Mardi Gras. It's a couple blocks off of Dauphin, and so it's great. You can park over there and get something to eat and drink, and then just walk over to the parade and come back. So it's been a great meeting spot for people. So, and we also have king cakes down there. We went to the king cake off a couple weeks ago, so that was a lot of fun, and it's just a fun time of year.
Years ago, I was documenting my quest to go to all of the Greer's locations. We talked about that. I passed to one I haven't been to yet yesterday, but I didn't have a chance to go, and it was in Perdido.
Oh,
we were rushing to my son's soccer practice.
Oh, man, you should have gone.
So the next time we go through, we'll have to make a stop there.
Yes, that one is right over Perdido Bay. And right when you get into Florida, and actually it's a really great store, and we have a very big liquor store there, and it is absolutely the best prices on liquor in the area. So go back, or if anybody's headed over that way for the beach, hit that store. So I'm just going to stir this up, and I'm going to get this on the veggies, and then while this is in the oven, next we're going to work on our coconut brown rice. All
right, we'll show you that next right here on Studio 10. A healthy dish that has so much flavor to it. You want to check it out. Chelsea.
Welcome back on a Wednesday. Lucy Greer is with us, and you are making something oh so yummy today. What are you making?
Yes, today we're making pork tenderloin and veggies over a brown coconut rice. And so we already got the pork and veggies in the oven. Right. So we took 1 pork tenderloin and just cut that up into bite-sized pieces. And I just mentioned I like to use pork tenderloin because there's absolutely no waste. It's a lean protein, and it cooks quickly, so it's perfect for a sheet pan dinner. And then I did 1 head of broccoli, and then whatever color peppers you like. I just use 1 red, 1 yellow, and 1 orange, and then we just tossed it in some olive oil, a little bit of soy sauce, salt and pepper, and garlic powder, and I just tossed a little bit of sesame oil in there. If you don't care for sesame oil, just keep it out, and if you don't have any, don't feel like you can't make this recipe.
Right.
And so that's on at 400, so it's going to take about 18 to 20 minutes, and everything's already on that sheet pan, so we don't have to get anything else dirty. And so I thought it would be really good to go with some some brown coconut rice.
So you've made a coconut rice before. This is so easy, and I forgot what we made, but it made a lasting impression. So I need to learn the techniques again.
It is so easy, and I can't remember exactly how I did it last time. And you know, I've said on here before, I'm a big fan of boil in a bag rice.
Yes.
My mom always used that, and a couple years ago I had friends over, and I think I made shrimp creole or something, and so I got the boil in a bag rice out, and half the people there had never seen it before, and I thought they were pulling my leg. So
it's a thing.
As much as like I'm a huge fan of that, on the other hand, I have never used minute rice before.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding. And so I guess I'm like the weirdo in this scenario. So I was somewhere the other day and I was like, minute rice. I mean, I knew what it was. I just never used it. And so I got it. And the brown, I like brown rice. I just like the flavor of it. It has, you know, white rice is great too. It just doesn't have much flavor.
Right.
And there's really no health benefits. So I like to use brown rice. It has a little bit more of a texture. It has flavor. And my kids like it. And so anyway, I got some minute rice.
Welcome to the minute rice
world.
family.
I know. And so, and of course, like we're trying to get supper on the table, so we want it to cook quickly. And so I have 2 cups of that brown rice in here, and I'm going to add 1 can of light coconut milk. And you could, of course, do the same thing with white rice. You could, I mean, really anything would go along great with this. Then I'm just going to add 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. So we're just going to bring this up to a boil, and then I'm going to reduce the heat and let it simmer. And the brown rice does take a touch longer to cook, but this is only going to take like, you know, probably like 12 or 15 minutes. So you just get this going while you have the other in the oven, and then at the very end, once it's cooked, I'm going to stir in some green onions. But this really is very kid friendly. And for my kids, you know, they will eat this. I would just serve their plates before I put the green onions in, because they wouldn't really care for that. But I mean, they'll eat all, you know, they love broccoli, the colorful bell peppers, this marinade, and the pork, you know, they're pretty good on protein. And the flavors are not so strong, and there's not any spice, so it's not going to be off-putting for kids. So this could be one that they can get into.
I like this because stir fry or something like this typically does well. It refrigerates well and reheats well. So if you need to eat something for 2 nights or for something lunch the next day, that's really nice. Love this. The coconut milk just adds this beautiful touch to the meal. So I think it's going to be really yummy.
And it's really not strong. And you would think that it would be a total, you know, really just like in your face coconut flavor, but it's really not. It really is subtle and goes along great. So, and this one would even be good if you were going to have people over, you know, just to do something different. So it's really colorful and super healthy for you.
Super good. We're going to let this boil. When we come back, we'll finish things up with Joe. That's next.
The steam is rising here in the Studio 10. What? The Studio 10 kitchen or the Studio Tetchen to shorten things up. Check it out. Lucy just pulled this out. This is her pork tenderloin with veggies and coconut brown rice. Looking good.
Yes, it is. We have a bit of an Asian flair. So we did all of our meat and veggies on a sheet pan, so no cleanup, because I like to line it with aluminum foil. So we tossed red bell pepper, orange bell pepper, yellow bell pepper, some broccoli, and a pork tenderloin, just in some olive oil, soy sauce, a little bit of salt and pepper, garlic powder, and some sesame oil. And that was only in the oven for, it only take about 18 to 20 minutes at the most, so it's very quick, especially for a weeknight meal. And then we have our brown coconut rice in here. I don't think it's quite done yet. No, it's not quite done. But we used 2 cups of our minute brown rice and 1 can of coconut milk and a little bit of salt. And we're going to add in some green onions at the end. So it'll be ready for supper. And I was telling Chelsea, this one's pretty good for kids too. Most of mine would eat most of this. And I would just omit the green onions. I would just serve their rice up first, and then, you know, a little bit, but none of that has any strong flavors. It has the soy sauce, but it's not overpowering, and there's no heat. So it should be good for kids too.
So your kids will eat peppers and broccoli?
Mine will.
Good for you.
I know.
You're the best.
I'm doing everything right at home.
My kids are the worst.
They definitely eat broccoli. Well, let me take that back. They all eat broccoli.
Yeah.
half of them eat peppers, and then but sometimes like they won't. But they all eat broccoli, and they all eat meat, and they will all eat. They like brown rice.
Yeah.
They do, and I like it too. And I wanted to mention too, I don't know if people have seen this at the store, but most everybody's familiar in our meat department are Pick 5, and it's such a great value. And we also have it in our produce departments now too, but it's Pick 3, and it's Pick 3
awesome.
for $10. And so it was. In this pack was the 3 bell peppers.
Yeah.
And then in this pack was full of broccoli, and we have other items in that. I mean, squash, zucchini, there's all different varieties. So when you go in our produce departments, look for those Pick 3 signs. And like I said, once you bundle it, it's just a much better value for you.
Oh, that's awesome. What a great idea that is. This is a great and healthy idea. You love a sheet pan recipe.
I do love a sheet pan recipe. I really do. And it's great for meal prep.
Yeah.
You know, not only for dinners, but this all comes together definitely less than 30 minutes for supper, and so easy. You could omit the pork, do any kind of protein you wanted, or just do veggies.
Great ideas, healthy ideas, good for the whole family. You can find that at Greer's. Also, if you're looking for any of your Mardi Gras stuff, it is the season, and Greer's is right there in the heart of it in downtown Mobile and throughout the Gulf Coast. Lucy, great job as always.
Thank you. See y'all next week.
And if my kids ever see this episode, I do love you kids. You're not the worst.